Hello everyone and welcome back to the channel. Today I'm going to go over some of the parts that I have on the shop currently. One of the parts is a spring guide sleeve that's right now installed into this, and this is just going to be a quick video of showing you the difference it can make to have the sleeve installed onto your spring guide rather than having a stock spring guide with just the stainless steel spring guide just without any like shrink wrap or like the Coke can mod that you can put around your spring guide, things like that to like dampen the noise of the spring to spring guide friction. I'm just going to show you a very simple mod you can do, and it works with the Wasp piston. It works with a few other different pistons on the market, and as long as you have a a 7mm spring guide, you can put the spring guide sleeve from Springer Custom Works onto the 7mm spring guide, and then it will make it a 9mm spring guide, which works with 13mm springs, which is what the Wasp piston uses, and a few other pistons on the market use the same. So I'm just going to show that in this video. It's going to be a quick and simple video, just showing you just showing you guys what the sound difference is with the sleeve and without the sleeve, showing you the dampened noise, because there is a noise reduction when you add that sleeve. So let's get to opening this up, and then I'm not going to show that part. I'm just going to show you with the sleeve and then without the sleeve. So let's get into that. So just to quickly show you guys the sleeve itself, I'm going to put this up to the camera. Here it is. So this is what the sleeve looks like with the 7mm spring guide, and then you throw that sleeve on there, and then it makes it a 9mm spring guide, which is exactly the same width and size of the included spring guide for the Wasp piston, which is something that isn't mentioned a lot with the Wasp piston. It does come with a spring guide, and that's what this spring guide looks like. So that's just a comparison of the two spring guides. Now we'll get into a comparison of the noise reduction and showing you what that looks like side by side. Alright, so for testing purposes, I will have BBs loaded into the mag, so keep that in mind. And another thing to keep in mind is I will have it already with the suppressor attached. There is also not going to be anything internally suppressed right now, as I'm still working on the build, still getting things tuned. But for now, it will have the suppressor with this testing. Right now it has the stock Sniper Mechanics spring guide. This is the Springer Custom spring guide with the nice sleeve right here. So that is not in there right now. So this is pretty much a stock noise comparison. I'm going to put the microphone here so it's a decent distance away from the actual rifle itself. So it's like an actual comparison of like the noise being drawn in from not like up against my chest when I'm racking the bolt, because otherwise the noise will just amplify really loud because when I'm close to the bolt handle and the gun itself, that microphone is like sitting right up against the cylinder, so it's not really a ideal testing if it's like that. So I'm gonna have the microphone up there, kind of like a shotgun mic, but just with my wireless mic, and we'll go from there. So let's do the testing. Let's put this here. So that's how it sounds racking the bolt back. You can hear kind of the sliding back and forth a little bit as the bolt goes forward, just from the spring guide itself. Now for the noise itself within the cylinder. And then I'll do one more. You can kind of hear that slide back. You can hear that going forward too. Let's do one more here. You can kind of hear a slight twang to it, but it is quieter than a normal VSR build would be because it does have the Wasp piston as well. That's another thing I forgot about. The Wasp piston does reduce the noise probably better than any piston on the market. Even the set piston, I would say that's what the Wasp piston has over the Edgy piston. Is Wasp piston is much quieter, in my personal opinion. So if you're looking for like a ghillie suit bolt action build with a perfect piston that's going to be reducing the noise, Wasp piston is where it's at. And then also the suppressor is there too. But this is the stock spring guide. So now let's get to the spring guide sleeve from Springer Customs. Alright guys, so I'm going to be doing the same testing now. It's got the Springer Customs spring guide sleeve in here, paired with the Wasp piston, and the suppressor is still on here. I'm going to keep that on there for the testing. Remember, it is not an internally suppressed outer barrel. I'm still working on that. But for now, we're just testing the spring guide itself with the sleeve reducing noise. So that was the first testing. Now we'll go to test 2. Sleeve is installed. Let's get to it. I put the mag in. The magazine is in there. So just like last time, I'm gonna fire 2 shots and give it a good test. So here's what it sounds like. See that forward movement noise? Wasn't even there. Now with the shot, a lot less noise there. Next shot. Alright, so that's pretty much it. That's going to be the comparison for that. Really, the biggest difference you can notice is the bolt movement. So when you slide the bolt back and the bolt forward, you get that noise reduction there. As far as when it fires from the gun itself, there's only so much you can do to really get that twang noise, that like when you hear that spring just go off. But that friction between the spring guide sleeve and the spring itself does come down quite a bit. I don't have like a decimal reader to see what it is rated at to be like exact, but you guys can tell from the camera and the microphone up there just what the noise was, just how it is right now. That's pretty much all I have. It's probably not hearing me too well. Speak pretty softly. So yeah, that's pretty much it for this video. Eventually I'm going to do this mod, but there's a video on this already from my buddy Nate. You can check out his video on his channel, Blind Sniper. He's got a really good in-depth video of how to do this so you can internally suppress your outer barrel. That's what I'm going to do in a second here, but I'm not going to make a video on it. The video I am going to make is going to be on the stock, and then I'm going to do a performance video, and then I'm going to do a gameplay video, and then I might do some other stuff with this VSR1, but for now, that's what I have for this VSR build series. Right now I've got, I think, 2 parts up right now. The third part will either be the stock or the performance itself, and then it'll be the other part that I didn't do, and then it'll be a full gameplay in-depth review of this VSR1, completely built out how it is. So hopefully you guys enjoyed that video of seeing the spring guide sleeve and why you shouldn't just have your Sniper Mechanics spring guide or your PDI spring guide or any other stainless steel spring guide, edgy spring guide, why you should do the modification of the spring guide sleeve by pairing it with the Springer Custom spring guide with his sleeve. So those are available on the shop if you're interested in doing that and you want to make your build a little bit more quiet. Go for it. If you don't, completely up to you. But that's all I have for this video. So take care and have a good one.